Hi, thank you for joining me today. My name is Trey Cook, and today we're going to be walking through the first exercise in Intermediate Jazz Conception for Saxophone by Lenny Niehaus. Today I'm going to be taking you through how I approach jazz music and how I approach playing it and sight reading it, what I do in my practice room to help me to learn how to play a piece of music, and conceptualize in my head what it should sound like in the jazz style. So, the first thing that I do is I play with a metronome, but I might play with it a little bit differently than you're used to. Right now, this metronome is on 60 beats per minute, which typically that would be a very slow ballad tempo, but I like to think and use my metronome as if it were the hi-hat of a drum set, to where it's beating on beats 2 and 4. So if I turn it on, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I would tap my foot on all of the off beats that the metronome is not giving me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, left, right, left, 2, right, 4, left, 2, right, 4, and so on. And the reason I would do this is because it helps you to internalize the pulse without relying completely on your own inner time clock. Instead, you're relying half on your inner time clock with the left and the right foot, and also then using your ear to hear the rest of the time being given to you through the band if you were in a large ensemble or a combo setting. But in this case, we use the metronome to substitute that. And it should help you to learn how to listen better and also to feel music more without relying on what you hear in your head alone, and also interacting with the environment that you're playing in. So, let me show you what that sounds like. Again, this is Intermediate Jazz Conception for the Saxophone by Lenny Niehaus, Exercise 1. There you go. That's how I would play exercise number 1. And I really like this book because it shows you very specific articulations such as house tops, da accents, lots of slur notation of how typical jazz musicians would slur music that it's typically not written. A lot of jazz music has almost no slurs or just a large slur in general to show a phrase. So this book helps to teach you how a jazz musician would typically slur things, in what kind of rhythms that would be written, so that then you can start to internalize that concept. That's why it's all about jazz conception, and how musicians would typically think through music like this that they see. Another great thing about each of these exercises that the etudes later don't do. But the exercises teach you a specific type of rhythm, and it goes throughout the entire piece. So the rhythm that you may have heard over and over again in this piece is a dotted quarter, eighth, starting on beat 3 and the and of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and. And it would teach you that rhythm throughout the entire exercise. And in exercise number 2, it does the same kind of rhythm, but on the downbeat of beat 1 of each measure. And so it's really helpful in teaching you to recognize very specific rhythms, and also learning how to read those rhythms and learn how to sight read that rhythm every time you see it. And it gets more complex, obviously, as you go through, and it does more complex rhythms. Another thing that I would like to do when I practice these kinds of exercises is to practice them at 3 different tempos. The tempo you just heard me do right now is about 120, so that'd be about a medium tempo swing. And then I would slow my metronome down and do half that speed to a ballad. So right now my metronome is on 60, so I'd be playing with quarter note 120, since this only gives me beat 2 and 4. So for a ballad, you could leave it on 60 and have it beat all the quarter notes, since having it beat on 2 and 4 is a bit harder. But you could also just put the metronome on 30 and do it as a ballad, like so. A 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. Playing it in a ballad, it makes you really have to wait and really feel where those notes should be placed. Say like the and of 4, every time the metronome hits, I play off of the metronome. And so that it teaches you how rhythms feel and really forces you to slow down and think about it. The other way that I'll practice this is to double the original tempo and put it at about, not double, but increase it by 60 beats per minute. So then we'd be playing at quarter note equals 180, which would put us into more of an up-tempo swing, where my metronome would be on 90, beating on 2 and 4. So this is what that would kind of sound like. A 1, 2, 3. I wanted to go a little bit further with that one because there's a lot of eighth note sequences that go later in that exercise like I played. And the reason I wanted to play them is because when we play at an up-tempo swing like that, where it gets a little quick, you actually want to straighten out the eighth notes a little bit more than you would in, say, a medium or a ballad. Those are really about laying it back, but when you get it to faster tempos, it can start to make you drag if you try to swing too hard. Or it can start to make you sound like you're playing a dotted 8/16 rhythm instead of the actual triplet style swing rhythm that is typical of jazz. So I tend to straighten out all of my eighth notes when I play at a up tempo or faster tempo. So it's not completely straight, but it sounds a lot straighter than the medium. So where the medium is like de do do de bo bop, and then in the up tempo 1 2 3 1. Dee-ba-doo-ba-doo-day, bo-bop, dee-ba-doo-ba-doo-day, bo-bop. It's a lot smoother and quicker at that tempo. So I would recommend when you play an up-tempo swing style to do it like that. Alright, that's all I have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked the video, please leave a like below. If you're new and would like to see more videos of me every time I upload them, then please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every time that I upload a video. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. You can message me anytime if you're interested in private lessons or just have questions in general at rmcook3@gmail.com, or you can message me here, or you can message me on Facebook, where I have a lessons page called Trey Cook Saxophone Lessons. Thank you for tuning in today, and I hope to catch you next time. Bye for now.